Hey, what's up to all my broskies out there? That's what I call you guys. Sorry. But on this channel, I be watching a lot of these Tim Pool videos. And this is such a common thing that it's just going to become a segment on this show. So here we go. This segment I'm going to now call... I mean, it really is never ending. I really could do a whole YouTube channel just watching this guy's videos because he's always on about something. So let's watch this new video he's got out now, and we will be amazed and informed by it.
Back in September, CNN ran a segment by Fareed Zakaria talking about how Donald Trump could lose the vote but remain in power, actually get a second term, even if he loses the general election.
So this might be the most amazing of the Tim Pool segments that I've ever watched. This one is truly mind-boggling and fascinating because what he's saying here is he's like, we still got a path to win, guys. We still got a path to win. The Trumpster, he's a Trump supporter, and he's like, guys, my boy might still have a chance to win. And he's referencing this Fareed Zakaria segment, but he leaves out an important part in the beginning. Let's just listen to it.
But first, here's my take. By declining to commit to a peaceful transfer of power, President Trump has agitated many who fear he will refuse to leave office even if he loses the November election and may even resort to violence. But the terrifying reality is that there are also mechanisms that are legal and constitutional that could enable Trump to stay in office without actually winning the vote.
So he starts this segment out saying this is a terrifying reality. So this guy's like, yeah, this is probably not going to happen. This has never really in this way happened in the history of the country, but technically it could, and that's horrible, and that's scary, and that's a bad thing. And Tim's like, we still got a chance, guys. Check this out. Fareed's saying we still got a chance.
Donald Trump could actually still win this. Now, this segment is from September. It's based on an article from July, but it's going viral now as people started to realize, hey, wait a minute. It seems like this is actually starting to happen.
I read the comments on this video because it is kind of going viral now, this Fareed thing, and it's all, I guess, Tim Pool fan type people who are like, yeah, do it. But remember, if you actually watch the video, Fareed Zakaria is saying, here's a horrifying scenario. I mean, it's literally like a scare segment for CNN viewers. They're saying, hey, I mean, it's not going to happen, by the way. This is not going to happen. It's over. But CNN made this section to be like, guys, you should be a little scared. Get a little scared, CNN viewers. Trump could do a kind of technical coup, a soft coup or whatever. And Tim Pool takes it a step further where he's like, we still got a chance to win. And a bunch of the comments now, the newer comments, are like, yeah, here's our path to victory. Just basically, really, really just throwing out a bunch of votes is their path to victory. And they're like, yeah, do it.
They had these hearings. They had one hearing in Pennsylvania where they discussed fraud. And you had some pretty serious allegations and some pretty respectable individuals, veterans even. Now they're...
We had some pretty respectable individuals in there. We had some dukes and some barons, and I think a couple of princes. Okay, let's see what happened in Pennsylvania. This is from just a day ago. Get it right. In a harsh rebuke, this is from the New York Times. In harsh rebuke, appeals court rejects Trump's election challenge in Pennsylvania. In other words, it's over. All his lawsuits are over. It's not working. Didn't work out. He even says this in this video at one point. He's like, actually, it's a trick. All the lawsuits are a trick to distract from what he's really going to do, which is just basically have all these states' votes not count. Basically, we're just going to have them not count. And since they don't count, we just got to leave President Trump in there. And he's got to do 4 more years. Imagine telling an audience of 1 million this. I love it. It's beautiful. I mean, and what's so funny about this is not only are these lawsuits getting thrown out of court, this is just comedy. It's just straight up comedy. They're not only getting thrown out of court, the judges are releasing these, they're putting out these really funny statements like this one. This is from a judge in Pennsylvania hearing one of these cases. This claim, like Frankenstein's monster, has been haphazardly stitched together. It's like they're little kids or something. This court has been presented with strained legal arguments without merit. Oh my God.
They had these hearings. They had one hearing in Pennsylvania where they discussed fraud. And you had some pretty serious allegations and some pretty respectable individuals, veterans even. Now,
again, these really respectable individuals, that's what counts. Not that these cases are getting thrown into the toilet back to back, thrown into the toilet and laughed at by the judge. Some of the people who came, they're respectable. They're very respectable. I saw one guy, and this is just what I heard. One of the guys had a suit from Nordstrom Rack he was wearing. And he wore it right into that court. And I was like, whatever this fool says, I'm going to believe, because that dude's looking sharp right there. You know he's got some facts, that boy.
now they're saying they're going to do the same thing in Arizona and other states. That is enough for many of the Republican state legislatures to say, we dispute the results, thus, we will not cast electoral votes, and then Donald Trump wins. But the other thing I want to...
So it's just so funny. He's reporting this as like, hey, look, check this out. There's still a chance. There's still a chance, guys. This would be he doesn't say this. The only way to report the story that he's reporting, there's only one way to report it. And it's actually the way that Fareed Zakaria did it. Is it Fareed Zakaria. Fareed Zakaria. There's really only one way. And the one way is to say, this would be horrible if this happened. This would basically be bye-bye. This would be United States is fully bye-bye. It's gone fully bye-bye. It doesn't really work anymore. It fully doesn't work, and we're not even pretending that it works anymore.
Electoral college yet. He's just the projected winner based on the current media assessment. That's it. If you know somebody who doesn't know any of this stuff and you want to show them, you want to explain to them why it may be a long shot, it may be a lottery ticket's chance, it may be astronomical, but Donald Trump could still be president, and these people are going to get a cold awakening if it happens, a rude awakening if it happens.
Okay, so it's a lottery chance. It's a lottery chance. A lottery chance, that's like 1 in a billion. Okay, so remember, he just said it's a lottery chance. It's a lottery chance. A lottery chance means it's not going to happen. You're not going to win the lottery, okay? And now let's hear this.
We have known this was the route they would go. And now it seems like he is on track to succeed.
It's a lottery chance, but he's on track to succeed.
Point being, look at it this way. Imagine there's a train track. Imagine on that track are twists and turns and loop-de-loops and barrels and fallen trees. Just because the train is moving down the track does not mean it will successfully make it past all of the obstacles.
You just said he's on track to succeed. Okay, if you're on a track, if you're on a train track that has loop-de-loops, not a roller coaster, a train, everyone on the train's going to be killed in that destruction. If you put a loop-de-loop on a train, that's not a track to succeed. So he said he's on track to succeed. It would have made sense if he said he's on a track, and it's a track that he's totally going to fail on, and he has already failed on. That would have been... Now I know that this guy is just totally doesn't believe any of this stuff. He's totally just placating a group of probably either it's the curve. The audience is either 90 years old or 13 years old. I think that's the audience for Tim Pool. And he's just kind of telling them like, hey, this guy that we like for no discernible reason, he might still win. He might still win. Here's what you want to hear. I'll just figure out some way to tell you that he's going to still win, even though there's no chance. Like the cargo of the train all flying everywhere. Imagine the destruction of it. They put some railroad engineers. We're going to put a loop-de-loop on this train. It's still on track for success, the train. Hey, railroad engineer, have you kind of lost your mind? No, I just want to put loop-de-loops on the train track. It's still going to be headed towards success. You smell like alcohol. No, I don't. You do. Okay. All right. I don't know. Where did they find you? Where did the state find this guy? This railroad engineer? This is amazing. This is amazing. This is so good.
It seems like we're moving that direction. Fareed says many state Republican parties have been actively attempting to suppress votes. Just a few examples. In Texas, in 2011, Texas passed a law requiring a government ID for voting and allowed gun licenses, but not student IDs. Okay, that's ridiculous. Okay. He says in 2017, Georgia passed a law blocking voter registrations with minor typos. Also, I think it's ridiculous to claim that's voter suppression to have voter integrity. Nice try, Fareed.
Nice try, Fareed. These are the exact kind of things you're talking about. There was a Sharpie. A bunch of ballots were filled out with a Sharpie, or they weren't signed correctly, or they didn't You're talking about the exact same stuff. And everybody's known, I mean, this is like an open secret for the past however many decades that Republicans try to suppress the vote however they can. I mean, they're even honest about that. There have been people in the Republican Party that are like, yeah, it's part of our strategy. We kind of want to weed it out. The less people that turn out, the better for us. That's why they didn't want mail-in voting. Of course they try to suppress the vote. Not only that, they benefit from the Electoral College. Like the Electoral College is an absolute scam system. But somehow they still lost. Like that's how bad a situation we are in here. Like the two candidates, both horrible, and this guy who he can't really explain why he likes, except that he gets a lot of clicks, lost. Still lost. That is so amazing. This is beautiful. YouTube is a beautiful place. Political YouTube is the best. It's the best. He's like, oh, there's all these irregularities. There's all these irregularities, so we just got to keep Trump for president for 4 more years. Oh, hey, what about all this voter suppression? What about, polling places that aren't in certain districts? And what about all the kind of weird stuff with the Electoral College? I don't care about that. I don't care about that, though. It's the other stuff. It's the stuff that serves my video clicks. I mean, here's just one egregious example of this, if you remember this story. It was reported by the Associated Press from NPR that gubernatorial candidate Brian Kemp, I'm Brian Kemp, office, the Secretary of State's office in Georgia was blocking 53,000 voter registrations in that state. Here's a shocker, 70% from African Americans, 80% from people of color. I mean, it's really horrible and disgusting, I think, that kind of stuff, but it's been around forever. You know, it's been a thing that people have had to fight over the Republican Party doing for a long time, but that's how they win. That's part of how they win. They have to do all kinds of voter disenfranchisement. It's just part of their game. It's always been. But he's like, nope, now there are irregularities because the guy that I like is having some issues. So, okay. Let's get back to the train track, okay? Because that's the metaphor that we need to keep in mind. A looping train track.
Lie in you. I agree. I do. But I'm not convinced Trump is going to win. Sorry. He might. He's on track, but he's got...
Look, I'm not convinced that Trump's going to win. He's on track to win. Oh, for sure. For sure. The track has loops and it's a train, but he's on track to win. He's on track to win for success. This is, I mean, so, okay, let's just try to get into the mind of somebody who likes this and is watching this. Please, I just want to understand, guys. I just want to understand what's up here, my dudes. Do they watch this and they just hear he's on track to win? And then the rest is just kind of white noise, or like, let's say it's like red noise. It's kind of got a bass to it. It's just red noise when he's like... when he's like, I'm not saying it that he's going to win. I don't think that this is going to happen, but he's on track. All the previous stuff, that's red noise and with white noise on top of it. And then you hear, but he's on track. You hear he's on track. You like that. And then you just go back to white noise for the rest. That's the only thing I can think of. Because this is incomprehensible. Incomprehensible. I don't know. I don't know how you I don't know how you tell how many we got to do a view check. Over 250,000 views in today. Oh my God. Over 250,000 views in today. And he's like, look, I'm not saying Trump's going to win. He's just on track to win.
Not an impossible outcome, but extremely unlikely nonetheless. Let me just put it simply. Joe Biden did not campaign. I'm not being hyperbolic, okay? He was running a campaign, but in terms of any colloquial understanding, he wasn't campaigning. He was calling a lid every single day, one time for a week. That means no press events. He was barely appearing on TV. He did not have any ground support. So there was no ground campaigning. No one was going and knocking on doors. Yet somehow a man who was mostly calling a lid, not doing interviews, and not sending out volunteers, beat Barack Obama's popular vote totals. I voted for Barack Obama in 2008.
Okay, because A, there was record turnout for this election, and B, yeah, Biden had the perfect strategy. Don't do anything. Biden's a horrible candidate. He's a horrible presidential candidate, so he did the right thing. I'm just going to stay home. And people voted against Trump. There it is. He's like, how is this possible? This guy didn't even campaign with all his really popular, brilliant campaign messages that he was going to do. His Bernard Sanders style policies he was going to go out and do that everybody loves. He didn't do that. So how did he win? Because people voted against him. People voted against Trump, dummy. It could have been, I think they did some study where it was like, who would you vote for? They did a poll where it was like, who would you vote for? Donald Trump again to be president again, or an empty chair? And people voted for the empty chair. The empty chair won in a bunch of these polls. So, yeah, he did the right thing. He just, he's not none of his policies are very popular. He's not going to be anything special. He's basically a Republican, and he's just like, yeah, people hate Trump, so I'm just going to be the vote against Trump. That's all it is. So there you go. Just very interesting job this guy has, and I think he's like a millionaire from this. What a strange job. You just get out, you get on your webcam, and you're like, hey guys, we still got a chance. We still got a chance. I know that pretty much everything indicates if you use your eyes and your ears, it's clear that we don't have a chance, but we do. We do. And then that's 250,000 views in just a couple hours. And I live in a mansion from that with a skate park below it. Well, as always, God bless Tim Pool. All praises due to the king of media, the new king, the new reigning king of media, Tim Pool, from whence we get all our info. And we all love him. We all love him, folks. And I love him. And thank God for him.